Hey, for this week's episode of the Weekly Wash, we're coming off the back of a really good couple of weeks of wind. Conditions have been firing, phone's been blowing up with people having really good sessions all over the country. It sounds like it's been going off. Shout out to the Foilerz. Their WhatsApp group's just been buzzing with really positive energy. They're a crew from Bournemouth, so check them out. They're on Instagram as well. Those boys, big shout out. Conditions over here in the West been going off. We had a demo day, had all the brands we do come on down. We had all the latest kit to try from Hale. Scored conditions, real nice test conditions, good chance for people to come and try out some stuff. If you missed it, always give us a shout. We try and hold a full fleet of demo gear as well, so you can always try some things out. Product of the day, people were trying Armstrong gear, so we've got the new XPS out, people were enjoying, but the MA, the latest medium aspect ratio foil from these guys, super fun, got these on demo, people loving, I guess, the number of sizes they've got, the increased range of these, increased versatility. So we've got some bigger ones and some smaller ones if you want to try those out for yourself. Power winging, still hot topic. Don't need to talk about it again, but my chosen product, I'm back on the water now, kind of injury in the past, turned back to a product which I was loving when I was really dialing into it. Been back out again on the Code R series. Absolute weapon for power winging. If you're on the Code system, definitely don't be shy to try one of these or get yourselves one of these. The range of it, the speed of it, the efficiency between bumps, it's made for downwinding and power winging for sure. So the R series 860s bottom end is absolute go-to as a session saver, but it can still handle that top end speed of the bigger bumps. Another new product, we stuck out a little story on our Instagram, so check that out if you're interested in more, which is the new Kaohi waist belt. It's got a leash, everything built in with a deployable parachute to stop you losing your wing, so you can do all sorts of riding, downwinding, practicing, or just ditching your wing without losing it. So check out our Instagram if you want a better video of what that's all about. But the main part of this video, met up with a good friend of mine, expert in his field, especially in product, equipment and repairs, Mr. Rich Boughton. So got him in, caught up with him about a week ago to have a chat about some repairs.
Good day, Chris.
Good day, Rich. Here today, filming some stuff for the Foilerz magazine. I thought it'd be a great chance to chat to Rich for the Weekly Watch. Because as well as expertise in equipment, he's got this expertise in caring for equipment, right?
Yeah, repairs is something I ended up doing. So the sort of legacy thing is I imported a kite brand for a bit and, basically had to mop up all the warranty stuff. So that made me learn how to fix everything. And then that spiraled into a repair business, really, which is a lovely tactile thing to do.
Every time I come up here, there's always just piles of stuff that's been trashed that you're putting back together.
Yeah, I'm always busy. There's never a shortage of work on this kind of thing. There's only sort of 3 or 4 of us in the country that do it to a decent level or specific to inflatable structures.
Because it's different, right? There's that thing when you get into repair and people always ask, do you go to a sale repairer or do you go to a specialist?
Yeah, it's something. Basically, the machines you have are tuned to do different jobs, and if you're trying to use too big a machine that's good for sales, for instance, it won't really work and match with the kites.
Right.
So that thing, that is pretty much what they use in the factory. It's exactly the same. Similar for, let's say, that one will do triple zigzag, do all the seaming and patch repairs. This little guy here is for straight stitch, so that will do the leading edge. And then there's a heavier machine in the corner. So you need quite a big setup to do it properly.
And understanding of which to do where, right?
Yeah, and sourcing the materials is a pain. So you have to have some sort of interaction with the brands to be able to get the right material to match and not have to use heavier stuff. And because
that's the difference, right? If you go to a sailmaker, he might be able to sort of copy some of it, but it might not be a colour match, or he might not understand it.
Yeah.
And when I see stuff coming out of your repairs, it's almost like you wouldn't even know.
They're always visible if you really know what you're looking at, but often you can pull whole panels out and repair, and replace rather than patch. That works in some instances and not in others.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can be pretty subtle.
I mean, one thing I thought would be nice to get you to talk about is there's always the question of when can I fix it myself, and how can I get it repaired? Who should I send it to? So obviously, if I've got to send it to someone, you're the man. But at what point does it turn from a home repair to a professional repair? Is a question I get asked a lot.
If it is inflatable bits, if it's tubes, really you need to get it to someone professional. Sometimes you can get an arm in and get a decent adhesive patch on the inside of the tube, because often I see someone will try and do a homemade repair. It'll be on the external side, and that's just doing nothing. So you've got to get inside there if you're going to patch a tube.
And this is on the Dacron?
Yeah, on the Dacron tubes, yeah. So the bladders you can repair with a stuff called tear aid. So that's a really useful in the field repair. And I use like welding stuff to do that, and sometimes adhesives as well for a more sort of permanent fix.
Should people do that themselves?
Yeah, they can do. Like bladders you can do yourself if you've got patience and the space and you're comfortable to get it in and out. But, you know, some people are more practical than others, so.
Yeah, but you'll take a bladder in here, you'd fix it.
Yeah, I'll do bladders to an extent. You have, there's a cut-off point where it's more cost-effective just to replace it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of people over in Europe that build bladders to spec, and often the manufacturers can get them for you.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you were saying on the inside of the Dacron tube.
Yeah.
That's
if you've got a rip in any of the tubes, just go on the inside, not the outside. It doesn't do anything, it'll just peel off.
Okay, yeah.
With canopies, like you can, if you get it really dry, so if you've put a stabilizer through a wing or something and you've got a little repair like that and you need to fix it in the field, just get it really dry. You can duct tape it. That's pretty good, although it's a little bit tricky to peel off sometimes.
Yeah,
because it's stronger than the canopy material. Yeah. Bit of duct tape. Spinnaker tape's really good, but again, like you've just got to get a hairdryer on it, get it super dry, get it flat, and then get it over. Yeah. And that will let you limp through a week or so on holiday.
Yeah. But I found there's that risk if you do that if a wave does hit it or something, it can then blow the rest of it.
It can make it worse. Yeah, you've got to do a good job of it.
That's the gamble you play.
Generally, if it's over the like 10 mil, I'd just get it sewn.
Yeah.
Like it's worth, I mean, obviously I'm going to say this, but it's worth getting it to me, and then I can make a nice, neat repair.
We're going to put one in. So we've got this one here, which is due a repair, right?
Yeah, this is quite a good example. But yeah, he stuck a stabilizer through there. So if you really want to get on with a session, you could just get that all flat, like ideally alcohol wipe it and then tape it. And you'd get away with that for a little while. But this part of the wing actually takes quite a bit of load. You see the manufacturers are always beefing up this area. So it's not the best place to leave it. But yeah, to do this one, I'll probably replace that whole panel section there. And where it fades in here, I'll probably just patch along that seam there because you'll only see like 5 mil of overlap. Yeah. So yeah, and that would probably cost about 50 quid or something.
Fair. So it's not
like horrendous. What do you think? It's a £900 wing or something. What
about skewer straight through the middle of a canopy? Home patch or professional patch? If it's
say, you could do either. Yeah. Like if you got like some decent ripstop tape on it, that would probably hang out for a while. It's when the cloth gets really saturated and wet, sometimes those self-adhesives will let go, and that's when you need to do a proper sewn repair.
Is it right? I've always been told as well, no matter how big it is, if it's going over a seam, that needs some stitch work in there?
Generally, it's better to stitch it. If you
always. Good advice. Yeah. That's cool. Well, I got you caring for your kit. Like as you know, you're packing it away. I've always thought some people talk about just scrunch your kit. Some people talk about roll it. Some people thought. What do you reckon?
If you fold it in the same place every time, you create like a natural hinge point where you'll start to see wear. And I see it with people that are really particular with their kites and they fold them up incredibly neatly. You'll see it wear certain places. So I favour a bit more of a kind of stuffing. The best thing you can do with a wing on the beach is rather than roll it up on the ground, pop the valves out and just bear hug the thing, and then you won't be pushing it into sand or like abrasive stuff on the beach. Yeah. So I always like let my valves off, bear hug the thing, and then just pop it in the bag.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit more complicated with booms and things, but often they'll kind of fold around.
Spinnaker style almost.
Try and keep it off the ground.
Yeah,
would be my advice. Or anything
the worst thing for it,
anything vaguely abrasive, and then you'll really like extend the life of them. Try not to store them wet. Definitely don't store them wet with fresh water because you'll get mold. So salt water just keeps the mold away.
Yeah.
So I shake them out every so often.
So people talk about washing it. Shouldn't wash it?
I wouldn't bother. No. Like honestly, like to get it dry would be my key thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good advice. Good advice. Different materials you treat in different ways?
Yeah, so...
Because there's the Alula, there's Dacron.
We're seeing a lot more Alula come in now. It's being really widely used by loads of different manufacturers. It's a little bit... Go grab some. I don't know if you can pick that up, Chris. You're going to pick it up?
Yeah, we can go. Let's follow over.
Is it going to focus?
We're in.
Good grief. Hi. So the Alula is a laminate. So you've got a kind of mesh, and then this kind of resin is bonded to it. So what it has is, if, like I was talking about that hinge point before, if it really bends in one place over and over again, then it will delaminate. Doesn't like the sun too much. Right. It's a really strong material, but it's not that keen on UV. So if you've got the opportunity to pack it up rather than leave it on the beach for the day. Yeah. I've seen some kites at centres where it starts to go white, you start to see the mesh behind it. But generally, it's a very strong material. Like I'd say, it's a little bit stronger than Dacron from like a penetration point of view. And
it's good intel about the sun, because you spend a lot of money on a premium product.
Yeah.
If people then don't look after it, and I've always been told and gone off and advice from you that if you buy a Lula, treat it with more care.
Just a little bit more respect. I mean, you've probably paid, like $2,000 for a wing instead of $1,000, so it's worth looking after it a little bit more. But generally with the Lula, it's a very strong material. All the seaming's been changed on it recently, all the seaming spec's been changed, so it's much easier to work on than it used to be, because it used to be folded over and over and over itself. So it's really hard to unpick. And with the Lula as well, because it's that little bit stronger, you don't tend to see like little abrasion issues with it. Like, if you scratched a leading edge across the floor, like you wouldn't really see much, whereas with Dacron it would probably scratch up a bit. So you tend to see like massive catastrophic failures rather than the sort of little niggly bits that you'd see with Dacron.
And person crying.
The person crying all the way to the credit card. Hello. Cool. I've dropped some tape there. So then you've got like just normal standard Dacron, which is just very well proven, quite hard wearing. It's twice the weight usually. So this varies a little bit, but standard kite stuff is like 160 gram, whereas the Alula is like 80 gram. So it's a big weight saving, particularly in light wind equipment when it's a big sail or a big wing.
And caring for it, it's a little bit more robust, it's a bit more durable.
Well, it's hard to say. I don't know whether it's probably of a similar level, but it's a little bit more there's a little bit more tendency towards abrasion. So if you're self-launching and landing, like, I don't know, it's never good, but you'll see it'll scratch through. Sometimes it'll get the bladder. It's really easy to work with. It's much cheaper.
Yeah.
Like it's what the bulk of people use. And there's loads of different grades of it. So you'll see like the one I would look out for is like the SLS and the kind of performance Dacron material. So sometimes you'll see that blow out in segments. That particular material, I've seen a lot of failures over the last 3 or 4 years.
Right, yeah.
From across brands as well. But it's like a lighter weave. It's a bit like an IKEA.
I know, it's like this.
Yeah, that's the Jazz there.
Yeah.
It's this one.
Which has got that shine material.
Yeah.
And I've always been really cautious with that sort of SLS material, the same as the Ultra X use with ozone, to not pump it too hard.
It's more with that one, that does not like abrasion. Okay. So if you rake that across a beach, self-launching, or with a wing, just it really doesn't like it. And it'll blow out in panels, it'll blow out in big L shapes.
Yep. So anything you should look for, those different materials, prevention is better than cure. You've got your kit, you're trying to care for it. But at what point should you just live with it, and at what point should you send it for preventative?
If you can see bladder, get it over. No, that's what I'm putting. But if you can see it's through the weave of the material, then it will probably go. Tube material, you just want to sort it, because the last thing you want to have to do is buy a new bladder. Yeah. Bladders are way more expensive than people think. So like a leading edge for a wing, I think I got some this week. They're about 80 quid or something. Right, yeah. They're quite specific. It's the labour cost that it takes to make them.
And then the fitting it as well.
Getting them in and out can be quite painful. Yeah. So there's various techniques I use here to be able to do that on my own easily, basically mirror what they do in the factory. But at home, that can go quite wrong quite quickly. I can talk you through it, but if you're not confident, just send it, honestly.
Perfect. Thanks, Rich.
No worries.
Good to get him on. Get some advice. If you need any advice about kit, caring for it, anything like that, Rich is your man. Give us a shout. Get stuff early. Look after your kit.
Yeah.
It'll look after you.
Just keep an eye on it. don't be afraid if you have an issue just to send me a WhatsApp or something with, like, should I fix this or not? So, yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Good. All right, cheers, Chris.
Have a good sesh.
Governamente strapping the system.